Alrighty, well here we are with some more Esper Control. Last league went pretty interesting for sure. Wasn't really able to mess around with the list just because I was having some more connection issues and didn't want to mess around with that with Card Hoarder, and figured I could just run it back. Things went pretty well. The couple of things I wouldn't mind changing aren't necessarily things I can do currently with the way my account's set up in the first place. So I think this is fine with the way that it is, with the way it's currently set up. Still really like the Settle in the main, still really like the Kaya's Guile, all that good stuff. So, let's just hop into game numero uno. Just get in there. See if we can run into some more Lurrus players. Last time, I believe we ran into Lurrus Boggles, which was a tight and close game, and then Lurrus Jund twice. Although our first game of the Lurrus Jund, our opponent did not reveal Lurrus. I don't know if that was a misclick or if that was something they sideboarded into or what the deal was, but either way, beat that both times and was unfortunate against Storm. And I can't remember what our other matchup was that round, but I believe we are Lurrus and an X, basically. Beating Lurrus and have lost to just about everything else. So, I mean, if we run into Lurrus 3 times here or something, we could have a good league, but we shall see. Really just trying to hone in on Kaya and Kaya's Guile both being pretty well positioned right now, with Lurrus being the top deck in a couple of different variations. So, yeah, that's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. It did reveal a Lurrus, so that should be good for us. And we have a Kaya. We got a bunch of things going well for us here. I think this is actually just going to be Island hit the bottom. Yeah, we'll just go Island hit the bottom. We've got all our colors available to us. I'd rather be able to fetch for more important things. Okay, looks like Burn. Yep, or Prowess, I guess, could be. So, in that case, I'm actually going to play this out, because I want to fetch for Hollowed Fountain tapped. And then the next turn we can play Creeping Tar Pit, and then we can fetch for an Island. Yeah, that's probably our game plan here. I guess that means we're losing 1 extra point of damage had we done things the other way around, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, if they play something for free, we can shock and do this, but essentially it's going to get the exact same amount of damage for us, or against us anyways. So I guess, actually, if this is going to... guess we should fetch shock and do this now, even though it's going to deal some damage to us, just because... whatchamacallit, this could open us up to drawing another path and not having to shock for it. And there we are. That's exactly what I was saying. So, still not in a good spot, but the good news is we have another answer for this Monastery Swiftspear. And then we can come down and start trying to eat some stuff out of the graveyard as well, too. A bit of a bummer, actually, that we drew double path, not push, and Kaya's not going to be able to exile these from the yard to gain us some life. That is a bit of a bummer. Okay. Hopefully just go for, like, flash this back right now or something. Although this is probably just light up the stage. Just bolt us. Okay. So we are at 8. We'll pap this one as well, too. We're at a theoretical 7. It's important to keep in mind that we are effectively 1 life short here. I think we need to get this Kaya down. We'll just grab an Island. Looking for a Kaya's Guile here. I am going to go after the Lava Dart and the Lava Spike, I guess. Wow, they didn't want to flash that back. Okay, I mean, it's fine with us. Bit of a surprise, actually, for them to not want to do that, but it is what it is. Yep. So that can get Snap Path this next turn. Okay, them doing this does make me feel that they have... It does make me feel like they have more to do this turn. Maybe that's just not correct, though. I'm actually kind of in the spot where if they attack, we'll snap target path, and then we'll just block. Do we need to counter that? If we counter that, this deals 3 anyways. So no, we do not. That'll put us to 1. Obviously scary. I mean, pretty high chance we're just dead here. We're going to snap and we're going to block if they let us. We're actually not going to path. Because there is a chance that we could potentially eat this with Kaya to gain some life. Wow. Okay, looks like that's going to happen. Wow, okay. Well, now we are not in the worst spot. We are still dead to a number of things. My assumption is their last card is not great, considering they haven't been able to actually really do anything. They didn't play a land out, but that doesn't mean that it's not a land drop. I think this is actually counterable at this point. Yes, we could die to, like, if Bolt is their last card here. And we'll die, but this is a potentially a pretty large problem. Wow, okay. That also let us protect to get our Kaya, so we got to whatchamacallit? So we could Kaya ultimate the following turn, which is pretty good for us. All right, so cards we're looking at: Core Firewalker, Kaya's Guile. Both just fantastic here. I'm thinking we're just going to go down on some of our mid-range, medium-ish stuff. This just isn't really about card advantage, and their hand gets empty pretty quick, so cards like that are not great. Spell Snare is an interesting one, because we do need to answer Eidolon, but I'm not exactly sure that they have Eidolon. However, they probably do have at least Skullcrack post-board. And that matters quite a bit. It's probably just like a Teferi or the Jace, one of those cards. I was debating for a second there it being Cryptic, but my issue with that is if it is Cryptic Command, Cryptic can help us like buy a couple of turns to find something like a Kaya's Guile to gain life, or Core Firewalkers or things like that. I know it's not super realistic to plan to just get to like Cryptic lock them or anything, but being able to like tap out a bunch of their things when they, you know, first main go for a bunch of different prowess things like Crash Throughs and Seal of Fires and all that kind of stuff is actually pretty good for us. We're going to keep here. We have a decent shot at Core Firewalker relatively soon, as well as Kaya being a pretty great card for us, so we are going to have to shock, so we can opt, and then we're looking for a white source. Less than ideal, but it's fine. Look at our top card. They did look at our top card. Okay. Whoa. Just eats their own bauble. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, we'll pay 2 with that. We're just going to be on the opt to try and find mana for this Core Firewalker plan here. Wow. Their start is far from great at this point. Are they landlocked? They don't have another land. Yikes for them. Man, that is a good card. No, I think Core Firewalker is just like game over at this point. I think it's that good. Okay, we'll play this one tapped. And then we can opt again end of turn, and then next turn we can untap and slam this Kaya, which is also probably pretty much game over for us at this point. Yep. Alright, they found a land. Alright. So we will opt. Now, do we keep this, make them sack that, and gain 4? I kind of like that, actually. Now that they have a creature in play that is a little better for us. Obviously, we could Kaya minus to kill it, but I think I would rather just get our value out of this. do need more lands. You know, with double Cryptic and a double white card in our hand that we haven't been able to play out yet. But I guess we are in a pretty good spot, because if we do draw a land, we can, if it's a white land, we can core Firewalker plus hold up Mana Leak, and that's pretty good for us. Unfortunate. Well, I guess we are just on the Kaya nuke your creature plan. Right? Yeah. We can trade this with a Seal of Fire, and that's fine. If they decide that that's what they want to do, that's perfectly acceptable. At this point, having this second Kaya, I mean, we're at 21 on turn 5, so I'm feeling pretty good about this, where we're currently at right now. We have Snapcaster for Opt to try and help us find lands. It would just be great to rip one naturally, obviously, but chances are they're probably going to have to rip this Seal of Fire off at this Kaya unless they have something else for it, but pretty likely that that's their play this turn. We already played a land, so that's good for us, yeah. So just rip that away, and that is okay. 2 damage to any target. Okay. Man, they're really trying to go nuts on these. Oh, and that's a bummer, actually, because that... Ooh. That's pretty good, actually. That answers core Firewalker. I hadn't thought about that. Okay, so we can't just go core Firewalker, hold up Mana Leak here, which is a bit of a bummer. But we can snap, try to block, and then, well, I guess depending on what they play main phase, this one's going to get Mana Leaked for certain. Just cut them off that. I don't want them to have a turn where they get to do a bunch of reasonable things here. I'd much rather just cut them off kind of at the knees. Hope they go to combat here. We will flash this Snapcaster out just naked here. A bit of a bummer, actually, that they don't have the mana for the Spell Bomb. Now I guess we won't flash the Snapcaster out. That's fine. Grab a Hallowed Fountain again. And now we can Snapcaster Kaya's Guile them, which is obviously pretty great. I guess we can actually Mystic Sanctuary put Kaya's Guile back, huh? Maybe that's just better for us? What if we... Okay, I'm in for this, actually. I'm going to Mystic Sanctuary, put Kaya's Guile back. And then we are going to Kaya plus eat Monastery, Swift Spear, Seal of Fire, I guess? Yeah. That puts Kaya up to 4, which could mean that we're in a spot where the Snapcaster can keep it alive, or the Seal of Fire is going to... Or not Seal of Fire, the Pyrite Spell Realm is going to take it out. Both situations are pretty alright for us, especially knowing that we have this Kaya's Guile on top now. Would actually love to be in a spot where they feel the need to fire off this Pyrite Spell Bomb. Because then our core Firewalker can get through. Okay, that one's not great for us. Because that now is their answer to Snapcaster, and they don't have to use Spell Bomb for it. That's less than ideal. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. This is a huge turn for them. Just going to be a massive amount of damage here. Another light at the stage. Ay, yay, yay, yay. Okay. Another Pyrite Spellbomb. Oof, I mean, we could be dead here, honestly. So this is going at us, this is going at Kaya. I think we need to make them use this. I mean, I'll block this one. Just save us a bunch of life here. We can eat our own Snapcaster. We can eat their Lava Dart as well, too. That's super good for us. Or I guess we can actually... Yeah, we'll do this. We'll exile this. make them get rid of this. So now they just have Bolt and Spellbomb. So they will be able to take care of this Kaya, unfortunately, with, you know, they have a number of different ways they could do that. But we're at 20. We have double Cryptic Command and we have Core Firewalker. These Spellbombs are potentially problematic. I'm really kind of hoping that they... Okay, so I'm really kind of hoping that they feel the need to, like, cash one of these in to draw a card or something at this point. Yeah, because that's potentially pretty scary for us. Alright. Okay, another Core Firewalker. Yeah. Awkward here. These Pyrite Spellbombs are actually fantastic for our opponent here. We are in an okay spot, though. For sure. Yeah, sweet. Draw a card. Go ahead. Another one? Sweet. That's actually really good for us. Because now that we have Cryptic Command and double Firewalker, I'm really hoping... do we care about that one? Probably not. Because that one can't answer Firewalker. I'm kind of thinking this might be a, like, when they go to combat, just bounce their Soul Scour Mage. I would love... Okay, so this makes me feel like this might be light up the stage. No? Okay, I'm just going to bounce this and draw a card. Really hoping to rip a land here, because then we can... yeah, we can play Core Firewalker and hold up Cryptic Command, which is obviously great for us. Sweet. I mean, and it's turn 9, we have a Cryptic Command, like, all of this is happening. Yeah, we can let this Bolt resolve, it doesn't really matter. So now we get to block, and when the second one comes down, it's probably just game over. This will get countered. And then it's pretty unlikely their last card is a Spellbomb. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we just took that one down. Yeah, see, and that felt, I mean, almost unreasonably good with all the Core Firewalkers and all that going on. Maybe we don't even need all 4 of them in the sideboard because this doesn't feel bad pre-board, but it also doesn't feel great. We were pretty fortunate that, you know, they were going pretty slow for the most part. But we could be in a spot where maybe we just don't need all 4 of the Core Firewalkers. That very well could be true with the Kaya and the Kaya's Guiles and things like that to be able to gain some life. So maybe that's the case. And then, you know, maybe we can trim on that and have some more answers for some other things that are not Lurrus decks. We shall see. I just really wanted to make sure that we came 100% prepared. With that matchup in mind, just trying to lock that one down. So... Snapcaster, Spell Snare versus nothing. They have not revealed a companion, and the decks that are most likely to not reveal a companion are Tron and Neobrand. And while this hand is not great against Tron, Spell Snare could be good, and it is good against Neobrand. So... let's keep this and we'll give it a shot. Obviously, this is probably the lowest end of things we'd keep, but this companion business has got things really messed up because now we are... oh, excuse me. Speculatively keeping hands based on the context of companion or no companion. And that is definitely interesting. Obviously, they could just be playing, you know, something completely different. We could just get run down here. Five lands is a lot, but what I liked about this is the fact that it has Creeping Tar Pits in it already, and Snapcaster, if nothing else, can try to come down to potentially pressure something, which is far from nothing. So, Ghost Quarter. Okay. Amulet. All right. Okie doke. Okay, I think we just play... this tapped. They don't really have a lot of 2-drops in most of the Amulet decks, which is a bummer because this Spell Snare will hit probably almost nothing. Yikes, that's really scary. I was gonna say, but at least we can try to fairy bounce one of these amulets, but that just doesn't even matter at this point. So this is gonna generate 4 mana for them. Yikes. And this could be an Azusa or something to the point where we just get like tightened here. We will Spell Snare that one. That is very fortunate for us. I think that's actually their only 2-drop. Okay, that's not nothing for us. It's far from good, I would say, but it is not nothing. We can now bounce one of these. Once again, is not great, but you know, is far from nothing, I guess. This next turn probably has to be Flooded Strand, get an island, hope that making them discard a bunch of cards is good enough or something. Well, that's pretty unlikely. So we know they have a Ghost Quarter. I'm going to opt first. Would love a Mana Leak here, to be honest. The good news is this Esper Charm can kill their Dryad. That is not nothing either, so that could potentially do something for us here. Chase. I don't see that as being good enough for us right now. Path is fine. We'll play this out and pass. Now, kind of hoping they just don't do anything so we can draw 2 Mystic Sanctuary, put that back. It's kind of hard to figure out here exactly our line of victory. Cavern of Souls is going to mess us up, but the good news is they can't Cavern of Souls and do it a turn early because of the way that... Oh. Okay. Sorry, they can't Cavern of Souls and do it a turn early just with the way that Castle Garenbrig works for them. So I'm assuming this is like an Azusa or something. I guess if it's the Dryad, we could even just Esper Charm to kill the Dryad. Hydroid Krasis? What? That's pretty crazy. I haven't seen that before. I wonder if that's a typical thing or if that's new. I have yet to see that. Okay, so that generates 1 billion mana for them. Got it. Yeah, it's a big Hydroid Krasis. That's going to draw them a lot of cards. Yep. Yeah, that'll draw you 3. I think we can just grab our island here and just draw our cards in response to this. Making them discard doesn't seem to be good enough at this point. Yikes. Really needed something to be able to answer what they're likely to be able to do to us here, which is next turn Titan us. And it doesn't look like we have great answers to that at this point. Really looking for... Oh, couldn't find it. Yikes. I was going to say Cryptic or something to that degree. Yikes. Yeah, so we'll just pass. They'll have to pay for their pact. Yep, so they pay for their pact. So this turn they probably can't do too much to us. That's good for us at least. So they can generate 4 mana. Then if they bounce one of these, they can play out the Dryad, generate another 4, that's 8, but they've used 3 for the Dryad. So we'll be down to 5, so they'll be 1 short of tightening us. Okay. I would like to path this in response. And then we can fetch Mystic Sanctuary, put the Esper Charm back on top, use the Esper Charm to kill the Dryad, I guess. Oh, man, we gave them another mana. I hadn't considered that. With that untapping the way it just did is pretty problematic. Okay, now we have to do this now. And I would rather put the Esper Charm back on top at this point because, whatchamacallit? Because I don't want to... I guess we can snap opt, or snap target opt. What I don't want to do is... Yeah, what I don't want to do is path this, because it's just giving them more mana at this point. I don't want that to happen. So they do have another land drop because of Dryad. The Dryad will die to the Esper Charm next turn. Okay, and we know they have a bounce land. Bounce land and Ghost Quarter. Yep, both of those. Curious if they're just going to try and just go to pop this right now. They might. They very well might. Nope. Okay. So we need to put this up. I want to opt. See a little more with what we're working with here. Man, if we had drawn that for turn, I guess we, with all the basics we have, we wouldn't have been able to double Esper Charm them, but that would be pretty enticing here. I think we have to keep this. No, I lied. We need to find like a mana leak or something pretty quick here. I'm going to put this into play tapped. And I guess we can just do this now. There's no real reason to wait until their turn. This is leaving us pretty vulnerable to a Titan at this point. But I think we need to start trying to be a little aggressive. We will have to close this game out at some point. We'll have to do that. So, alright, so this Mystic Sanctuary has no targets, but hopefully we can get to a spot where we can do something. Grazer is fine. Grazer is okay. Valakut, gotcha. That is also fine. This 1, 2, 3. Oh, those are bounce lands. Yeah, I mean they can Titan us here. Okay, they have a Ghost Quarter, which is fine. Sweet. So they don't have Titan, and that's pretty huge for us, I think. I'm gonna keep going up with this. You never know what we're going to want to hit with it. I'm gonna play this tapped. I guess we could have played the fetch land. No, we couldn't have because we only have 2 Mystic Sanctuaries. That's awkward. This Grazer will hold off our Snapcaster Beats for now. But I was going to say we could have played the fetch land to try and find our Mystic Sanctuary if we do need to cast this Cryptic Command this turn, but that's just unfortunately not really the situation that we're in at this point. Yep, we'll just keep holding off for now. Yikes. Do we need to bounce this now? I don't think so. What I don't want to have happen is, excuse me, I want to get to a point where we can, whatchamacallit, where we can potentially cast this Cryptic, and then play this Mystic Sanctuary from our hand, put it on top, and use this Teferi to bounce and draw it immediately. Yeah, your third one of those is fine. If they draw a Titan, it's... Oh my goodness. That's probably game for us. That Field of Dead is probably game for us, I guess, at this point. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to beat that. Huh. We don't have a way to take that off the table. We are drawing plenty of lands, which is obviously also not helpful for us here. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Yeah. Can we now fire up 1, 2, 3, fire up and still leave that up? Yeah. Okay. So we might as well fire one of these up. That's probably just going to get ghost quartered, but you know what? It is what it is. Bounce lands are horrifying for us at this point because that's just an automatic. Yeah, so we'll go find. Yes. Guess it doesn't really matter here. We'll grab our swamp, I suppose. So we have some more black mana, but doesn't really make much of a difference for us. Bounce lands are really scary for us because it's just a repeatable 2/2 every turn for the rest of the game. Things that let the... Yeah, see, that's a 2/2 for every turn for the rest of the game. And I don't know how we're going to beat that because eventually they're going to draw something that we'll have to answer. And these things are just going to be, you know, it's going to feel like the least of our worries basically at that point, which is not good. And we are just going to fetch end of turn here. Just grab Watery Grave. Now that we're getting down to not many lands left. Oh my goodness. Yikes. 2 lands in there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we only have, I think, like 5 or 6 lands left in the deck. So I do want to start using these fetch lands then. I think keeping this Teferi around isn't for nothing. And we do have a push for 1 zombie this turn. Obviously not great, but just I'm struggling to find a way here to fight through these zombies in the first place. We are just going to start creeping Tar Pit, attack them, and kind of hope that that's enough. And maybe we can get to a point where we can get, like, you know, a Cryptic Loop set up on tapping their team and drawing a card every turn, or something to that effect. But they did show us at least 1 relic in the main already, and if they have 1, I'm inclined to think that they have multiple. Okay, play this out. So, I feel like they have something and they're just waiting for a Cavern of Souls at this point. So they can force it through like a Cryptic command. Yep, more zombies. Yep. I'm just going to always yield to this. I don't care about this ability happening here in this Field of Dead. There's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. I think we're just going to trade this Snapcaster off. And then next turn we can bounce one of these. I don't want to use this Fatal Push because I want to save it with Revolt for a Dryad. Because they could potentially Cavern a Dryad through. I don't want that to happen to us. Didn't they just play land? How did they get in it? Oh, Explore. That's how, obviously. So we may have to... I guess keeping this Teferi around is not a huge deal for us at this point. Okay, return Field of the Dead. Interesting. Alright. Something big here. We need some good stuff happening for us. They're pausing on our upkeep. Okay, Cryptic. I would consider that to be something good. So we will draw Archmage Charm. I guess. I mean, that doesn't really do anything, but it is a counter spell, so you know, there's some merit just to having that. We could now be in a spot where if we can keep a Dryad off the table so this Valakut can't kill us, that we could set up Cryptic Lock. Which is obviously great for us. So, we shall see. We shall see. We'll let this Teferi go here. This Teferi being around it, I mean, it's a card drawn every 3 turns, and that's about all it is at this point, but it's not going to stick around. I mean, even if we push it here, it's not like it's going to stick around through more than a turn after that anyway. It's just, it's not useless, but it's not really providing anything in terms of them not being able to cast it instant speed anyway. Their deck's not really looking to do that. Assuming that they're killing this Teferi here, yeah. It's a good play on their part. I think we're just going to draw 2. Nah, I don't want to. Just get some of these lands out of here. I guess maybe they have Lightning Bolt, and this opens up to try to kill this Creeping Tar Pit. That could potentially be something. But, I mean, we have a bunch of counter spells at this point. So, this Cryptic... Okay, so that messes with our Cryptic Lock, doesn't it? However, we can force it off the table at some point with an Archmage's Charm. So I think we have to let that one resolve. And hopefully they're to the point where they feel like they just want to draw a card with it. Yeah, that's the point that they're at. And that's fine. They're not actually really getting anything from us at that point. There's their Cavern. So that's probably a Titan. I suppose it could be the other card that I'm forgetting. Yeah, it is Giant. Okay, so it is a Titan. Yep, and we can't counter it. Yeah, this doesn't really do much in the grand scheme of things, honestly. Unless they have enough mountains to actually start to trigger Valakut. Because Cryptic tapping your team for the rest of this game will shut this down. Yes, you're going to get lots and lots and lots of zombies. I do see... So what did they grab? I didn't even see what they got with this. Probably just more Field of the Deads. Doesn't even say. Teleria West. Okay, so they are going to go for it looks like probably another Titan. I guess we should do this turn. Right? Yeah, we can get rid of one of these right now. And we still have Archmage's Charm up. I suppose we should have let them go to combat first. That's probably a mistake. But still having Archmage's Charm is not nothing. Yeah, we'll have to see kind of what's happening here. But this Cryptic Lock, we have them on a 4-turn clock. Had we been able to not get Ghost Quartered, this game would be done in probably a turn or two, which would be kind of crazy. Doesn't look like that's the spot that we're in at this point, which is a bit of a bummer. Yeah, I think we'll have to more than likely wonder what they're thinking about here. I think we'll have to more than likely let a Dryad resolve here, because actually, like, Relic of Progenitus is the card we're most worried about, and if they do have a Dryad, okay, so now we can path that as well too. Okay, so not in the worst spot here. Yeah, just let all this happen. Mystic Sanctuary, put Cryptic back on top. Why are they stopped in our upkeep? What are they thinking about doing during our upkeep? Why do they have that stop there? Just interesting. Okay. Yep, we'll put that on top. So we can't crack this fetch without drawing a card first. Something important to keep in mind. We will need to draw a card before we crack this fetch. So this next Cryptic should be doing that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana up without that, which is good. So we will tap draw. And then this next Cryptic will have to start bouncing Mystic Sanctuaries, I suppose. Yeah, I'll probably have to start bouncing Mystic Sanctuaries to keep this loop going, but the Snapcaster is also, you know, going to ensure that even if we find a way to screw this up, or they have something that we can hopefully Snapcaster for it. What they're debating here. This is game 1, right? I mean, there's just no way they're going to get through this if... Okay, they said BRB. I don't know how they're going to... how they're planning on winning, especially another game after this one when we're in a pretty good spot. So them taking a decent amount of time off here is far from nothing. We were also not playing super quick, but I was making sure our clock was staying at least parallel with theirs. I'm just surprised that they're taking as much time off the clock as they are, but, you know, life happens. If they had to go somewhere, do something, it is what it is. It's not a big deal at all. Let me think here. So we have one more island, and then we have Watery Grave as far as fetchables. I do still... We're kind of playing with fire with leaving this Flooded Strand in play, because we could get to a point where the mana is relevant and cracking it could potentially be awkward with our Mystic Sanctuary shenanigans that's happening at this point. But I also think that being able to leave up crack for Revolt to then push the Dryad, and that still gives us the liberty to path this Titan if we ever get to that point. Who knows? We may just never get to that point. Yeah, and honestly, that may just be irrelevant. I think it's just going to be keeping Dryad off the table at this point. I think that's all that it really comes down to. Yeah, so that's probably going to find Dryad. We have the Cryptic from the top of our library, which is important. Okay, so that transmutes. That should find them a Dryad, or find them a Summoner's Pact, I should say. This is giant, so we can still... Yeah, And then even if they have like something to play another land drop and bounce this cavern, we do still get to whatchamacallit, fetch and fatal push this dryad. So I think we're in a really good spot here. Yep, so they found the dryad. They've already played a land. We're gonna let this happen. Valakut is a whatchamacallit, but we need to stop yielding, however. It's a intervening if, so just because it entered and they had all mountains, when we kill this, they will not still have all mountains. Therefore, it will just be, you know, the Valakuts won't do anything. I guess we probably should have shocked there. Get the Dryad out of there in response. Now we can let these happen. Always yield. Always yield. And then these will resolve and do nothing because they do not have mountains anymore. Okay. Same situation for us here. Fire this up. Hope that it can close things out for us. They have a lightning bolt. We would have to counter that. They did have a way to remove this because that it looks like this is our only real route to victory at this point. I mean, we also do, I suppose, have the clock to our pretty large advantage, and we also additionally will not let them attack for quite a while, so I shouldn't say it's the only way for us to win, but it is our most likely way to win at this point. That's our way to end the game for them as opposed to just prolong the game for us. Yep, put all your triggers. I suppose they probably shouldn't have actually played that first. Oh. So Bajuka Bog here. So that will take out... So that means now that we should Snapcaster Cryptic instead. To get value out of this one while it's here. And we can Snapcaster Cryptic tap their team. They should have done this in the other way, actually. Where they should have had their zombies resolve after this. Because then, now when we're tapping their team... I guess this is return target permanent and bounce this. Because then if we... drawing a card doesn't really do a whole lot here. And we are in a spot where... now, if they... whatchamacallit? If they play something else, we can Archmage's Charm, and we can put the Archmage's Charm back on. Okay, so they have another Titan. Okay. Should not matter. I suppose this means they can pick the Bajuka Bog back up, but they can't play it at instant speed, which is what really matters here. Yep, so they can get some more lands. So this is probably like another way to find their Dryad would be my assumption here. Yeah, that would have to be my guess at this point. Okay, so Cavern. Maybe they have another one? Yes, they have another one. We would get to path it. And it would be their last card in hand, so actually it wouldn't be that big of a deal for us. Yep, you got lots of zombies. We got it. Lots of zombies. These things are all fine. This Creeping Tar Pit's going to be what's going to end up doing you in. Anyway, target creature gains haste, so we can path that. I suppose that means the timing on everything got a little bit awkward here, but oh, they got two ways to give. Oh, I see, because they're getting to untap a lot. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, but it won't kill us. So, So they'll be able to attack with a couple of zombies here, but we will end up pathing their Primeval Titan, so they won't get to do that. We'll make sure we get into beginning of combat. We'll path this, so they can get in for 4, which shouldn't matter. Yep. You got us. Okay, untap, draw. I guess that means we can just play this one out. Animate here. We should be done here. With this other cryptic being able to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So we are 1 short of being able to cryptic, bounce, snap, snap, cryptic. But I mean, we can cryptic, tap their team, bounce, snap, I guess, and then we can hold up Archmage Charm in case they have something for us. So make sure they go to combat. I think this time we're fine with just drawing a card. Creeping Tar Pit's going to be what kills them. Okay. So this will get Dryad. They can play a land, and then we can Snap Path it. This game was crazy. This game was really crazy. Yep. So even if they go to play a land here and try to just like Valakut us for a whole bunch or something, let them put all their triggers on the stack. I suppose this is only dealing 6 anyway, so this actually doesn't matter, but just in case, we'll just go ahead and Snap Path this so that this doesn't become an issue for us. They are out of cards in hand, so we know this is all going to happen. Snap. Snap target path. Sweet. Now they have to win 2 games in 6 minutes. That seems tricky for them, to say the least. Let's see here. Cards that are interesting. Do we want Wraths against them? It could like buy us a couple of turns, but I guess once they really get going, that's not really a way that we stop them. Kaya's Guile isn't great here. They make zombies. It could potentially eat something. I don't want to bring any more in, but I guess also they're not the worst. What if we did Unmoored Egos in to try and hit Field of the Dead, and then maybe these Spell Snares come out as all they hit are Explorers. Yeah, that can be bad for us, right? If they get to like ramp and do a whole bunch of things, but maybe this is just what we go with. We could also like drop 1 push for a Damnation or a Settle. Do we want that as well too? 1 push. No, we'll just try it like this. Chances are our Unmoored Ego will not be fast enough to get their Titans, but there is a decent chance that it would be able to get their field. Getting their field is potentially really good for us. I think... Yikes. Probably have to mulligan this. This just doesn't actually stop them from doing anything. This is a little worse, but we have a win condition and a Teferi. Although we probably have to bottom the Teferi. I don't really want to go too much lower than this. It's not that we're getting Thought Seized or anything, but we are going to have to fight a pretty tough battle, I think, in this matchup. And I don't want to get put in a spot where our deck just no longer can compete kind of thing, that could potentially be awkward for us. We'll lead on Polluted Delta Go. Okay, that's not nothing for us. Their natural lead of Castle Garenbrig would indicate they don't have any forests, so that's a good sign, but it also could be that this means they have Amulet, yeah, and then Bounce Land, which is also pretty rough for us. Just another castle, okay. We're going to put this in tapped, because no matter what they could put into play here, even if it is a the 1 mana creature that I'm forgetting, the one that lets them tap to put a land into play, even if they play that, we can just push it on our own turn. Relic is fine. Makes the Snapcaster awkward, but not unusable. Yep, you got it. Play this, and go ahead and pass to them. We might just run this snap out, maybe? No, probably not. We'll probably get to a point where we want to make them use the relic. That's probably where we're at this point. So they have 4 mana. This is probably... No, it's not Obstinate Baloth. Gain 4. Okay, that's fine. So we can crack, and then we can push this. Nope. And we'll just do this now. Next turn, we start to leave counter magic up, which is good for us. Need our Flooded Strand. Okie doke, we'll go ahead and pass to you. Give them 4 minutes to take 2 games from us at this point. Pretty unlikely. Could happen if they have, you know, some blisteringly fast something that I'm not thinking of, but I would consider it to be pretty unlikely at this point. I think I'm going to use this to draw 2 end of turn. They very well could have Veil in, which means this is our counterspell. May not be great. I also just want to be mana efficient. This opt, yes, obviously is fine, but you know, it's unlikely to get snapcastered back in the first place. Yep, we can pay 2 for this one. Go ahead and pass. We now have quite a decent amount of good options available to us. We can yield to that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they now could... Oh, interesting. Alright. Double Relic means that we're probably to the point now where we're just running the Snapcaster out. I guess we can do this on end step. That's fine. And then we can Snapcaster, and then they'll just use both of their relics. Or maybe they'll just pop one, I guess they could as well too. Doesn't really make a difference. They use their other one. Yep. It's fine. Yep. Then we will just start going to getting our combat. Just gonna start getting in there. Start trying to make this long trek. This long trek. Chances are pretty high here that, you know, they just have like Cavern into Titan or something like that. There's not really any other way that they're going to be in an alright spot here. We also do have like Kaya's Guile to just get stuff taken care of, which is good. Do we want to use our Cryptic here? Or would we rather use our Kaya's Guile? So I think we'd rather use our Cryptic here because yeah. So they still have 2 mana up, but they've already played everything. Yeah, I think we'd rather use our Cryptic here. I suppose I could have saved this fetch. It shouldn't really matter. Oh, you know what? No, we do not want to use our Cryptic here. I was thinking. Sorry. We do not want to use our Cryptic here because what we don't want to do is get got by Veil of Summer. Which is exactly why they played their lands in the sequencing that they did. To replay their land and have their mana up before actually casting their spell. So they have Veil of Summer. So these things go on the stack. They don't get anything from them. That's fine. I think we're just going to make them sacrifice. And we'll just make a 1/1, I guess. Eating their graveyard isn't relevant. Gaining 4 life is also not relevant here. So just turn it into super impressive clock out of us, I guess. So they have a Teleria West, which means that they can go find like a cavern. So I kind of want to just go Kaya. Exile this to mess with any tricks that they could do. And then we could get to a point where maybe Kaya's even could start attacking like a relic. Yep. You got us. Probably get our other one too, is my assumption. Got us. Womp womp womp. Yep, they got one. So we got one cracked, which could mean that our other Kaya could come down and answer this relic, which would be kind of cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So their next land will trigger Field of the Dead. I think we're just gonna. Oof. Well, that unfortunately cannot beat a Veil of Summer at this point. Bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. So we'll just get rid of that. We don't actually have like the Cryptic Lock set up at this point, but we could get there. We also do have this Snapcaster. The fact they already put a Field of the Dead into play is bad for us, though, huh? Yeah, I think we just say go. They could go like, Titan and try and get us again, but we're at the point where we can now Snap Path the Titan. That's fine. They don't get to untap their lands with whatever it is we're doing now, so they just get to make some zombies now, but, I think we're to the point where, oh, okay, Hydroid Crisis, gotcha. Big Hydroid Crisis, draw a bunch of cards. Seems good. And I bet you they leave. They're not leaving one up. Because they didn't leave one up, I do kind of want to just counter this. I don't think it should matter. We'll let this happen. Let them draw their cards. Sure, they have a zombie. We're now in full-on defensive mode at this point anyway. I guess we go Path. Sure. Or do we want to Snap Path that? I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We'll just leave everything back. I think Kaya at this point can just go after that. And we'll just say go. I don't think we need to attack for any particular reason. We could have Unmoored Egoed their Titans out of the game, but I think that if they did find a way to win, it would have more to do with the Dryads at this point. I don't know. I'm not super concerned about it. We have Mana Leak, we have Snap Path. Azusa is fine. Them just making land drops at this point. There's no way they kill us in time. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So Vasuba also, yep. I mean, there could even be some crazy potential for them to, like, try and take this one game from us with some strange string of events, but oh well. Snow-covered forest is what they grab. Yeah, so I think they're just... Looks to me as if they're just giving it up. Yeah, GG's. GG's, opponent. Sorry you had to go for whatever reason. I probably messed with a lot of things, timing-wise and whatnot. Big win, though. You know, we were able to take game one from them. You know, it's not like we just timed them out because of that. We took game one. That game was really one Mystic Sanctuary from being basically the exact same situation. We were already through 2 of their relics and a Graph Digger's Cage, so our Cryptic Lock was probably good if we were able to keep it going. So, let's see. Alright. Here we are looking at a bunch of 3-drops against an unknown deck. I don't think we can keep this. We also don't necessarily have the mana we need. Immediately punished, as always. That's how it goes. Bummer. Alright, well, we'll keep this. And I think we just pitch 2 lands here. Probably keep Flooded Strand, Watery Grave, I guess, at this point. Maybe we just keep Flooded Strand, Flooded Strand. Chances are pretty high that they are on, like I said before, Tron or... Tron or, whatchamacallit? Can't I remember the name of that silly deck? Ooh, interesting. Okay. Don't know what they're on. Definitely don't know what they're on. I was going to say Tron, or could have been the combo deck with Grizzlebrand, but I have no idea. I think this one will have to hit the bottom. That could potentially help us to come back into the game, but we are going to need land drops. I know I bottom lands before, but I figure with Opt, plus a couple of natural draws, we should be able to find our way there. We shall see. Devoted Druid. I think that's going to resolve, and we will just Fatal Push it. Yeah, we'll let that resolve. Fatal Push it. This also means that next turn, if we do draw a land, we could Snapcaster Fatal Push. Or we could Snapcaster Opt if they don't have anything. Land. Land. Sweet. Wow, we are definitely taking damage from our lands, though. I wonder if our opponent thinks we're on, like, Esper Shadow or something at this point. Just Fetch, Shock. Fetch, Shock, Shock. Kind of crazy, I guess, but... Knight of the Reliquary. Okay, that one's fine. I think we're going to snap Opt here, actually. What I don't want to have happen is this could very easily be a Heliod combo, and what we can't interact with very well is Heliod when it's not on the stack. So to play around that, we are going to try and keep this. I guess that can hit the bottom. We already have a path. We're going to try and keep ourselves in good spirits of being able to beat a Heliod if we can. I guess we can play this out because that could potentially help us get back this mana leak or this path or the, whatever. Don't know that this 2 damage is going to be the way we win this game, but I would just hate to give up the opportunity to, get in there. So, okay, yeah, that one needs to be needs to be Batterskulled. Needs to be mana leaked. This looks like it could be Ross Merriam's Selesnya Stoneblade list that was played on Versus Live the other day. Could be something like that. I think at this point we'll just take a draw. I know we could like rip land and be sad about it, but I think we're to the point where we have a lot of really good love draws. Yeah, okay. Well, it is what it is. But what I was trying to say is like drawing a Cryptic is really good, drawing a Jace is really good, drawing Kaya, drawing Teferi, drawing Big Teferi, drawing Archmage's Charm, Esper's Charm. Right, I mean, we just have so many good draws that I don't want to limit us to Mana Leak when our opponent's about to make their 6th land drop. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I'm talking about. So Eternal Witness, likely just going to grab back their Batter Skull would be my guess. Yeah, okay. So now I think we have to put Fatal Push back, as much as it kind of stinks. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. No, so that doesn't, we can't even Mana Leak it at this point. Yikes. Yeah, this is scary. I think we have to put Fatal Push back just in case their last card is, in fact, the Dryad, not the Dryad, the Vizier. That could end up really poorly for us. I don't think we're in the spot where we want to be trading damage, so let's just kill the Dryad. Or let's just kill the Druid now. They will get to Batter Skull us. Probably put us in a pretty rough spot here. I will trade this off. They're about to Batter Skull us, so it's not like we're going to be able to, you know, race them in any meaningful way. So yeah, we'll just accept the trade here. Not in a great spot. I mean, they have lots of... Oh, they didn't want to play the Batter Skull out. So either they have an instant speed thing. Yeah, Collected Company. Okay, that'll happen. I was going to say they have an instant speed thing like Collected Company. Or, yeah, see, definitely smart move on our part there. Yikes. So, not sure what that's going to have to grab back. That might have to grab... Might have to grab, like, Path at this point. Yikes. Guess it could grab Mana Leak again. I don't know. Yeah, this is really tricky. They got a bunch of cards stored up in their Horizon Canopies, and we are just ripping all lands here. And I can't imagine that going super well for us. Okay, Stoneforge. What does that grab for them? Let's see. Feast and Famine. Lightning Greaves? What? Wow. Have not seen that one before. Okay. So... wow. Alright. Yeah, so they get to put the Batter Skull in this way. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I've never seen that before, but that definitely is interesting. And they get to attack with it? Yikes. I don't know how we beat that. Honestly. I really don't. This gets in for 6. We can't. Man, do we have to rip, like, Settle the Wreckage or something at this point? Yeah, I don't think we can get a card back and try and win this way. Yeah, just all lands. Man, that was a lot. I mean, we started on 2 lands, right? We ended with 2, 4, 6 lands up from that. Oh well, is what it is. Alright, so Selesnya, looks like they're trying to combo us. This Grafdigger's Cage is good against that. This Damnation seems pretty good. This Settle the Wreckage is likely to be pretty good. Those are all cards I'm interested in. Against a bunch of creatures. What am I not super interested in? So what cards are they likely to have post-board? Veil of Summer, of course. Like everybody. They'll have some number of that. Curious then if we just want to trim on Archmage's Charm and like a Esper Charm or something like that. I'd like Esper Charm, but I just don't know that that's where we need to be right now. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with this. Teferi can help shut off tricksy things with Collected Company from their side, which is good. Grafdigger's Cage can help shut that off as well, too. Yeah. Let's see. So we get Opt into Kaya's Guile or Kaya. And I'm kind of in for it. Yeah, I'll keep this. This Mystic Sanctuary is a little awkward. Maybe that's just a play on one, actually. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. Next turn we can opt and look for something to kill if they have a birds or something. No? Okay. Okay, well, we can just play this and say go then. Awkward that I suppose we don't have both black and white mana rolled up for next turn. So I think we are in a spot where we might opt first to see which one we draw and then fetch for the opposite one, which is awkward because then if we bottom one, things could get really, really awkward for us, but alright. Yeah, so we'll just do this now. We'll opt first. Path. I think that can hit the bottom at this point. Settle. Okay, that's not helpful for us. I guess we can grab black-white at this point. We can grab a Godless Shrine. We'll have access to both, but we'll need to rip one in order to actually do something with it. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. This could get a little dicey. Say, Craft Greaves again. It's a wild card, honestly. I think we'll just play this, and we can say go. Curious if they're just gonna go like play Greaves, equip or something. Who knows? They attack. I'm gonna try to trade with this. Yeah, I think at this point we're in for just Snapcaster, target our opt, go for the trade here. I think that's fine for us at this point. Does give them the ability to resolve something. Oh, that just gets it back? Oh my goodness. Well, obviously that's not what I was intending. That's pretty rough for us. Alright, we have to keep that one. Would love for it to have been a white source, so we could have Settle available to us, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers at this point. You kind of just have to go with what you can get. Wait, did they not get that back? Huh? Why? Oh, they just got the wooded foothills instead of the... Oh, interesting. Okay. That's a choice I hadn't anticipated, but oh well. So now this turn we can Kaya's Guile them. I suppose, you know, probably make them sack and exile. Now that we know they have Renegade Ralliers in their deck. Wasn't aware of that. And then we could potentially... I think we can take the hit for 3... Do we want to? Yeah, I want to leave up Cryptic. And then we can opt as well, too, in the second main, which is good for us. Yeah, I'll let this one resolve. That one, I suppose we can't. I kind of want to... bounce the... Yeah, I'm going to counter this and bounce this. I think that's fine for us at this point. Okay, and then we can pass the turn here as well, too. Really looking for 5th land, looking for Jaces, Teferis, all that kind of good stuff. I think at this time, however, we are going to go for this. Make them get rid of some stuff, because I do think we're to the point now where we do really want to opt. Make them get rid of their stuff. So this Lightning Greaves is gone. This gives them a turn to potentially Collected Company us, but Cryptic Command alongside with Kaya and or Snapcaster should be able to find a way to get us out of that, hopefully. They're just going with Devoted Druid. I wonder if they're just going to put the combo into play. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so now we're looking for, yep, we want to land, that's for certain. So we'll go to us, get this. I think we just say go. Yeah, this is potentially scary. They could have Veil Summer here, which is obviously not good for us. But we can try to set up our Cryptic Loop. Maybe, who knows? Yeah, this is scary. Okay, Knight is fine. That's fine, we'll take 3. So they have Collected Company, huh? So, what does that mean for us? Maybe they don't? Oh. No, that's not going to happen. Oh. I guess it doesn't make any difference. So put this Cryptic back on top. Okay, yes. Counter target spell draw card. Where you at? There we go. No thanks. It's actually a decent draw for us. I think we just say go here again. To the point now where we might need to settle, which is obviously unfortunate, because this Devoted Druid's never going to get in there. Yeah, I think we do. This is pretty scary, honestly. We are far from in a good spot here. Trying to think of what we can have to fight against this. Really looking for more removal spells, I guess, at this point. But if they just have the combo here, we're in trouble. Okay, well, hope they don't find it. Devoted Druid, Devoted Druid. Well, if nothing, you're redundant. Would love to rip that Damnation out. Damnation would be absolutely insane, actually. Just like the stone cold best possible. Okay, so that's going to get back something. That's no good. Definitely to the point where looking for Damnation. Come on. Damnation. Dang it. I think we can play this. We can take 2 from this Eternal Witness. Knowing they have Collected Company is obviously not good for us. Yikes. Just have to hope they don't have like multiple different ways to do this. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not feeling confident about the spot that we're in, unfortunately. They just have another one. Okay. That's obviously not good. Knight, Stoneforge. Whew, okay. It didn't find it there. Now we are definitely looking for that Batter Skull. Okay. That's no good either. Yep, we'll take 2 here. Go to the end step. Ops looking for that Damnation. That's not a Damnation. Also not a Damnation. Yeah. Pretty worried here, to be honest with you. That won't really do anything, I guess. Can we... 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So we don't have enough to Kaya and Snap Cryptic at this point. So I don't think we can do that, unfortunately. As much as I want to try and make sure that they can't Ewit back another one, but I think we're to the point where it's just kind of where we're at. This is pretty dicey here. We can Snapcaster Settle. That could be something we could have here. Or if they're just untapping so they can start drawing cards here. Yeah. Yup. Yeah, we're pretty far from being in a good spot once again, but really tricky spot here. Okay, let them go to combat. Let them attack. Just with the one, huh? That's fine. Okay. We can, I guess, just put Cryptic back on top here. I don't know what's really better at this point for us. Yeah, I think we're putting Cryptic back on top here. Oh, we can't. Yikes, never mind. We already have both of our Mystic Sanctuaries. Hadn't been considering that. That's no bueno. Okay. Still feeling mighty dead here. Because this will put a Batterskull into play. That happens. Yeah. Short of Damnation, I don't know how we get back in this at this point. We are drawing lots and lots of cards. That also could be like a Bajuka Bog, which would be really bad for us. It's not. Okay, they're just drawing more cards. Okay. Once again, not good for us, but in the grand scheme of things, I mean, it could be worse. Yeah, I think we still have to let them attack again, though. Yeah, still have to let them attack. Okay, so... do we just Mana Leak that to make them tap down? 1, 2, 3... and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We would have to fetch one time. That's fine. Yeah. I don't think this is going to get any other use out of this at this point. Make them pay 3. Just trying to get them tapped a little bit lower at this point, so we're not quite as worried about dying. Guess we'll grab Island with Flooded Strand. And I suppose, actually, wait. We can fetch both of these. Kill it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Oh, we would have to shock now because we tapped our white. Yikes, that was a misplay. Okay, well, hopefully they just, like, go for it all. And we could try and get them here. Beginning of combat's fine. Yeah, we'll have to get them with all this. So we have to shock here. And we're dangerously close to dead here. Fatal push this one. We need to make sure that happens first. Okay. Get an island. Snap Settle. It's going to give them quite a lot to do. Guess if they have Bajuka Bog, they can just get us here. They do not. Okay. Alright, turn your stuff into lands. Cross my fingers. And that's about all we've got at this point. Good news is Kaya can at least gain us some life. But we need some big stuff here. That's not it. I guess that one counts, huh? So Kaya can come down. I'm going to eat Creature and Collected Company. Okay. Well, we may, if they can, if we can fade a couple of draw steps here, we could have them Cryptic out of this one. That was a really good draw. We might have to bounce our Snap though, which could potentially mean that they can disrupt our stuff. That's obviously no good. What is this? What is this? Ghost Quarter. Oh, just to make sure that they can't get Creeping Tar Pitted. That makes sense. Okay. I mean, they're through all 4 Horizon Canopies. It's not nothing. That's a lot of mana. Okay, that is fine. Tap all creatures, return permanent. And hope. Oh! Man, that was so stupid. They can untap their... I guess if they put a -1/-1 counter on it right now, we could have won, so we're not dead, but... Man, that was really stupid. Yikes. They can just untap their Vizier. That's scary then, actually. So they can untap, they can put us to 1. I guess 1 is the same as 4 effectively here. But this means that we can't get out of this with just what we have right now. What do they have now? Can't cause you to sacrifice permanents. And that's hexproof. Okay. Well, I mean, at this point, that's the same as before, right? So I guess now it has to be Snapcaster, Cryptic, tap your team, bounce the Batterskull. Or in beginning of combat, tap your team, bounce whatever that's on. Can we 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3? We can't. Dang it. I think that's probably pretty relevant here. I guess they have 12. We just have to not die this turn. Yeah, so we have to wait for beginning of combat. Wow. We have a shot at this. Kaya does have exactly 12 cards, so... I mean... The awkward part is if they draw... If they draw Vizier, we have to counter it. I mean, I guess they also do need a payoff. Like, they have to find Walking Ballista in some way at this point, which isn't nothing for us. That is fine. In combat, Snapcaster. Cryptic. I guess we have to return the Devoted Druid, because if we target the Batter Skull, they can pay 3. So this is going to be bounce that, tap. Well, they don't have anything. I think we've got them. Kaya should end this. No! Oh, no! Oh, they found their ballista. Oh, man. Well, that was a brutal one, but once again, felt super close. I mean, we had that game. They just had to not have it that turn. And, you know, we were behind basically that entire game, so it is cool that Kaya has kind of put us in a position where now we have this thing to end the game in a semi-reasonable fashion a decent amount of the time. Like, she just comes down, and after settling them twice and, you know, eating a couple cards and this and that or whatever, I mean, it was fine, so. Yikes. Yep, well, that is what it is. I will see you in Game 3, I suppose. And we will hop right into that. Hop right into the next game. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I suppose even if they did that first main, it didn't matter, right? I mean, we were just dead. Don't know what they have. 1, 2, and then Cryptic. I will keep because Opt could help inform us. Not really playing against a whole lot of Lurrus here. I guess we've seen it once, but, you know, as far as things we would love to play against, that's far from the best. Probably means this is Tron at this point as well, too, but is what it is. Interesting. Something different. Maybe this is Urza. Could be Urza. Could be Bant. I suppose. Either way, just drawing cards is probably fine in this matchup, so Esper Charm seems fine. So we will just play out this Flooded Strand and pass the turn. Another Opt is actually not bad. It'll give us something to do this turn as well, too, and then the following turn try and, you know, Esper Charm to draw or something like that, potentially. Could be pretty good for us. Okay. Do you have Emery this turn? Is that what this is? Okay, so it's Temur Urza. I haven't seen Goose around without Yorion since, well, I guess a while. I think this is the kind of card we want in this matchup. I suppose we should have technically gotten Hollowed Fountain instead, but I think we're to the point where this is likely going to end up shocking for an island-typed land anyway, so I think we're fine. Kaya's Guile is also potentially really good against Uro, so that's good for us. That is good for us. You may draw some cards. And a turn, we're just going to try and draw 2. That'll put us down to 5, up to 7. We'll draw up to 8. Yeah, got some geese. Honk honk. Maybe we'll just make them discard 2 at this point, actually. With another Esper Charm? Actually, I like that. Because now... I mean, we could get Metallic Rebuked. That could very well be what's happening to us here, but if not, we can potentially just empty their hand right here. Just empty what you got, and then untap and make you empty what you got again. Could be really awesome. Alright, so we are getting Metallic Rebuked, or something to that, probably Metallic Rebuked at this point. But then they'd be down to just 1 card if we decided to Esper Charm them. Probably not what we want to do. I suppose this clears the way so we can land our Jace this next turn, though. And that's pretty good for us. This could also be like a Spell Pierce, potentially. Looks like Metallic Rebuke, though. Yeah, Metallic Rebuke. Okay. Cool. Yep. Nope, we will not. So now we can get our Jace down. And go up on them. Urza. Yeah, that needs to hit the bottom. I was going to say specifically Urza's the 1 card that could get us here for tapping out. Everything else is probably fine for us. Don't fetch. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't tell me you had all of it. That would just hurt too bad. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Rebuke back on top for them. I mean, I guess they can Spell Bomb to draw it right now. Oh, and they have... Oh my goodness! Yikes, they do have it all. Okay, so now we know they have Rebuke as well, too. They can... At any time spend... Oh, they're just gonna red. Oh my gosh! And Galvanic Blast, take care of that. Whoa! Okay. And then Spell Bomb to kill it. Okay. We know they have Rebuke on top, so we need like a path right now. Yikes. That's not a path to exile, is it? Doesn't look like it. Do we just need to like go to their upkeep? Yikes. I don't know how we're beating this. That was so good. We could... Cryptic, bounce their artifact, I guess. Draw a card. Yeah, I think that's where we're at this point. Looking for a path or a push off this, and then maybe we can Polluted Delta and get that going for us. Nope. Okay. Alright. We are in a rough spot here. There's nothing in our graveyard that helps us at this point. We know they have Metallic Rebuke. This Urza's just going to get to start, doing whatever it wants to do. Casting a whole bunch of stuff. Is this just another Urza? 5 mana. Oh, yeah, of course. Duh. Islands. Cool. I don't think we're in a spot where we can afford trying to... Where we can afford or try to Mystic Sanctuary some stuff back at this point. I just don't think that that's really where we're at. They do only have 4 mana up, which means they can't activate. Do we just have to like try to draw 2 here? I think so. Rebuke this one. Okay, that's fine if this gets the rebuke, I guess. Makes me a little scared though. Makes me feel like they either have a fetch land to put that back on top again, or they just have another one. If they're going to use this one so willy-nilly, basically. We are just looking for paths and push. Are really our best draws. Yeah, so... Okay. Really wish we could have punished them there by just like having the path or something in our hand. I suppose we played in a way where that was likely to not be the situation we were in, but still. You may attack us. Bring it in, Urza Daddy. Nug, nug, nug away. This is pretty scary. This is definitely pretty scary. Activate again. They should be activating with their baubles, not their food, right? Okay, just a bauble. Alright. So they know what we're drawing here. Hopefully they start shaking in their boots. I don't even know what it could be, but it's about all I got at this point for hope. On 0. Well, we don't have any zeros, so that's just to be able to spin again. Makes me feel like we're drawing something they want to counter then. No? We're not? Okay. Yeah, it sucks. I guess we can maybe... What? Oh, they're just making the food. I guess we can maybe hope to, like, Kaya's Guile them or something? Making another food. So we can full modes the Kaya's Guile just to eat one of these Gooserinos away. Is that what we need to do at this point? Probably. Whatever. Come on. Give me black mana. So I'll just everything with this. This obviously is not great. Once again, they're gonna get to spin their wheels a whole bunch of times and all this stuff, but I just don't see us in a super good spot in the first place right now. There's just so many different things that we need to have happen here at this point. Like, we need them to brick on their Urzas, and we need to draw a removal spell, and we need them to not have counter magic, and all that stuff basically, or we're just completely done here. It's crazy how many cards this one Urza can draw. It's kind of cool. I guess they're not short on mana, so I suppose, but I think it would. Oh, just replacing it right away, I guess, huh? I was going to say it technically seems more optimal to use an engineered explosive before using one of those, but a shock. That doesn't even let them activate it any more times, does it? No, it doesn't. So what does that mean? 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess if they hit an artifact? They already played a land. So Yeah, we just need a removal spell at this point. Well, there it is. Let's just spin it again. Looks like it. Oh, no? Oh, you knew we had this one. So that's an interesting use of that card. Okay. Well, I mean, we could still die to a card they draw now that we don't have Cryptic up. But, okay. Now we're looking for, like, Kayas and Teferis and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, they've drawn, like, all of their lands, so I don't even know. Ooh, that's got to be a good one, right? What do we put back with that? Probably just Cryptic? Maybe it should have been Esper Charm, actually. Yeah, maybe it should have been Esper Charm, but oh well. Because that's something that we could have. Well, we're never gonna kill them with like regular damage at this point, are we? Wow. They have 18 life sitting over there. Uro's fine. Yeah, all this stuff happens. Uro's fine. They are quite a few cards away from being able to do it, and we are also in a spot where we can, you know, try and Kaya's Guile that away as well too, which is worth something. Generating mana. Generating 2 green. What's happening? Do they think they can play this Uro? Are they not realizing that their whole graveyard got nuked a little bit ago? Is that what's happening? No, they're playing something. For 1? Sure. I don't think that's what they meant to do. I'm really confused. Oh, I see. This is their way to... Okay, I gotcha. This is their way to get their Uro. I understand. Well, we get to... Card we put on top, Cryptic. So we get to counter draw. I guess we could even counter bounce, actually, is probably even better. Wow, they had to throw so much away to get this Uro. That's just insane. Counter target spell, return target permanent. Counter that, bounce this one. Wow, that was nuts. I was not anticipating us winning that game by any means. That was insane. My goodness. I think we've got a decent amount of things to bring in here, all things considered, honestly. Maybe Ceremonious Rejection isn't the fight we want to fight. It doesn't fight over the important things, doesn't fight over Uro, doesn't fight over... Yeah, it doesn't fight over any of the counter magic either. Just fights over like their Astrolabes and all that like piddly stuff. So I guess that's not what we want. Stony Silence prevents them from comboing, stops Engineered Explosives from happening, stops... I guess enough. It's not great, but it does stop enough. Spell Snare, they probably only have a couple of Snapcasters, so that probably doesn't do too much. I don't think Settles where we're at. They're unlikely to have to like overrun us with something. Something like this so far. And maybe just like Archmage's Charm, considering they are likely to have Mystical Disputes. Something like this. Yeah, we'll give this a shot. give this one a shot. Snaps and Esper Charm and nothing else really. That's, I think, kind of a tall ask at this point. Ooh, almost clicked keep on accident. This is actually quite a bit better for us. We'll put, oh, I don't know, sorry. We'll put this on the bottom. Yeah, I mean, this hand isn't great, but it's just better than the 7 that we had, and I think that being able to keep Urza and Uro from killing you is really what this matchup's about. If you can keep those cards from killing you, it's pretty tough for them to win, especially if they're not on like the Yorian version with a bunch of different other cards there for them to, a bunch of other cards to have access to, like potentially more Jaces and things like that in their list. So it just becomes a lot trickier for them to actually finish the deed, I guess. Hopefully this is not a Teferi. Emery. Okay. Another card we likely will have to answer. We'll see what they mill over. Astrolabe. 1 Urza down. Sick. I mean, I'm fine with them. Oh. Okay. Well, I guess we just do that. I was saying I'm fine with them just, whatchamacallit, playing out an Astrolabe. I guess in the grand scheme of things, we don't necessarily know they're on the combo. These teamer lists aren't always doing that. So the Stony Silence may not do a whole lot, being that Urza actually is the thing that lets them tap for mana, not the artifacts themselves. But I think this just stops a lot of their stuff from functioning the way that they want it to. So hopefully this is Urza, and we can just path it. Sweet. So this is Urza. We'll just get to path the Urza. Yeah, and then just Astrolabe here, draw a card, that's fine. We're just going to pat them now. Oh, they didn't cast it. I think they meant to. They most definitely meant to. That was a mistake on their part, without a doubt. We'll play this one tapped. I don't really want to just flash the Snapcaster in at this point. So Kaya's Guile can prevent them from going super crazy with some of these things. Just looping a whole bunch of different stuff, I guess. Oh, I suppose they couldn't cast it. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. They didn't have snow mana. That makes sense. So, okay, so we're definitely eating that. We are most definitely eating that this next turn with Kaya's Guile. Just kidding, they might have something. Well, that's kind of scary. So they have a counter spell. Kind of want a white source so we can try to snap path, and when they counter the snap, we can then path out of our hand. No such luck. Okay, well. Yeah, I mean, I think... Yeah, they don't have anything to get back with this Emery, so if they just go to cast this Uro... yeah, maybe this was wrong. Maybe we should have just tried it, but I just don't like that we just fold super hard to a piece of counter magic in that sense. So this one we probably need to do with the triggers on the stack, because right now they have 1, 2, 3 mana. They don't have a 4th mana, so they can't Cryptic us, so we're going to have to... With this on the stack, I will try to... Sorry, we're back here. Got this Snapcaster. Okay, I wonder if they're just going to counter this path then with their counter spell. No. Interesting. Okay. Maybe they have land Urza. Maybe that's why they're letting this happen. That could be the case. They played in such a way where I felt like they most definitely had a counter spell. And maybe they didn't, but they were playing out like they did. Okay. Another Emery. Second Urza down. That's pretty good for us. a Veil down as well too. Man, those mills were great for us, honestly. we'll take those. I will also most definitely be trading away the Snapcaster with this construct. Yes, thank you. Oh, that is so huge. Not having to use a card on their second half is a big deal there. Big deal. Because that is a way that we sadly can just die in this matchup. So yeah, I think we look to be in a pretty okay spot here. I suppose the card they could have had last time was Veil of Summer. That seems like a reasonable card to have shocked around if it were not a counterspell, because Veil of Summer did not stop Path, so I guess that tells me they have Veil. So what is this targeting? Archmage's Charm. So let's not. Let's just do this. So this does tap us down, which means that they could resolve something. But most of the things that they could resolve are soft to this path anyway. Sweet. Just happened. Awesome. So now obviously we're looking for action spells, right? I mean, they have 4 cards in hand and we have basically nothing going on at this point. So we are just looking for action spells. Okay, they don't have anything really either. That's good for us. They made them waste a Mystic Sanctuary. We're through like 3 of those. Wow. Okay, we are really looking at this point for Akaya. Oh my goodness, Akaya would just be like the actual nuts here. I suppose if they have a green land here, they could actually flip this into play this turn. They did not have a green land. That's good. Activate on Mishra's Bauble to see what we've got. Oh, ha! Can't even activate it. Okay, so Kaya? Dang it. Okay, maybe this can find us a Kaya. Kaya would be just so good here. Nope, we don't want that. Ah! Man, that really is a bummer. Gosh, a Kaya would have been so good there, because Kaya would have came down, ate the Uro, and, I don't know, I guess that Emery, or well, probably Uro and another non-creature thing or something. Would have just given us a decent amount of things to be able to do as well, too. Yikes, they found their other Urza, huh? So this will be Urza number 3. Oh, they're just trying to get some value out of there. Yeah, that's fine. I guess us having only 1 white mana makes it's really awkward. So they see our top card, and then this means they get to Emery Bauble again. It is a really aggressive use of Cryptic, so I feel like they definitely... Yikes, 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 yikes. This turn got out of hand really quick. So they have Cryptic on top. They get to Uro. When they Uro, they get to draw Cryptic. So we'll know that they have Cryptic left still, and that's a problem. And with the triggers on the stack again, I think we need to path it. So they're starting to get to the point where it's going to be kind of tricky for them to kill us, actually. I mean, we're through 3 Urzas. 1, 2, the 3rd Emery is on the board. We're through 2 Uros. So they likely have 1 Emery, 1 Urza, and up to 2 Uros left, and that's it for, like, actual ways to kill us. I mean, we're fighting through. We're most definitely fighting through. So you know what we're drawing here. Please be something good. Kaya's Guile. Ah, so that's why they went for everything in the turn that they just did, huh? I think... Yeah, I think this Stony Silence is where we just want to be. Just stop them from trying to have some more shenanigans and things like that. at this point. So they know we have Guile. They don't know we have Stony, other Stony. But once again, this single white really is making things a little awkward for us, for certain. I wonder if they're going to do it again. Oof. Ooh. Big oof. Found their last Urza. So now we are under immense pressure out of nowhere. Yikes. That's wild. So that's just going to get cryptic is the problem, right? Like, had they not had an Urza here, this would be exactly what we wanted, but okay. So I guess we just let them go, and then we hope that they go and tap in a way that they don't still have Cryptic up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that doesn't even happen here when they go to activate this thing. They just get to keep Cryptic up, which is huge. Well, now if they go to activate, they don't. Are they not gonna? That's smart on their part. It just means we're likely doomed. I wonder if we go for the like Kaya's Guile here. Guess we can go for the sacrifice. I gain 4. Kind of hope that this can bait out the Cryptic in some way, and then if they Cryptic this, okay, so it looks like that's going to happen. But I guess if that's a Mystic Sanctuary they can find, then we are in a pretty rough spot. What are you bouncing? Oh, your Mystic Sanctuary. Oh, well, you already played a land this turn. So you don't get to put it back on top. Now we just have to hope they don't have second Cryptic, and outside of that, I mean, there are ways we can fight through this, but it is very possible that we are kind of just done for here. Let's see what they get off this. Man, we almost, like, completely ran them out of win conditions at this point. Like, that is kind of crazy. I guess they just get to draw a card off that. So I guess we just have to do it, and we just hope they don't have another Cryptic. If they have another Cryptic, we're just done. Okay. Wow. Okay, so now if we can ever string together enough things to answer this token as well too, we could be all right. We can get back a path once again. They should have Mystic Sanctuary, that Cryptic back first, right? Probably. We're through all the Urzas. That's the good news. We are through all of the Urzas. So, do we want Kaya's Guile or Path? Okay, Mystic Sanctuary, we'll put Cryptic back on top, and now we have to hope they don't have another one? I guess... Oh, they just have Galvanic Blast. Okay. Just take it from us right there. Draw a card. Well, I guess we would have drawn... I think, actually, it probably was just better to, whatchamacallit, to be on, I can't think of the name of it. This is CMC 2 or less, right? Non-land. Okay, I'm going to get this in there and actually cut an Esper Charm instead, because we can potentially Archmage's Charm to steal the token that Urza makes, which is pretty good. Man, we almost ran them out of win conditions. They have 6 minutes to kill us. This seems pretty good. Yeah, this seems like a pretty good hand. This will be turn 1 Hollow to Fountain, opt. Following turn, probably Flooded Strand, as opposed to Swamp, to see if we can potentially get lucky to hit a third blue source for this Archmage's Charm on time. We shall see. We just goosing it up. Goosey, goosey, goosey. So let's just opt now. I guess we can keep that on top. We are going to want another land at some point. Does this mean we take this turn off? That's like super awkward now. Yikes, yikes, yikes. So I think this means we have to... Yeah, this is... The lands here are really, really awkward. I think getting Stony Silence is good because I don't want them to... If they have Emery, I don't want them to be able to start like bobble looping us at this point. That could be pretty rough for us. And now we can play Tar Pit, pass, and then the following turn we'll have Archmage's Charm plus Path and or Push up. I guess it would have to just be Push. Do we want to just push this now then? Probably. They didn't have anything to do with the mana before, so I'm feeling like that's a good play considering we don't have anything to be doing this turn anyway. Didn't have anything to do with 3 mana last turn. It could just be on, like, you know, Uros and Urzas and all that stuff. Fetch pass, okay. Alrighty. So I'll just play our island here. Mana Leak's a decent pickup as well, too. They are on pretty short order to kill us here. I don't want to get to the point where we're just trying to, like, clock them. I would love to find a reasonable way to actually just end this game. Something to keep in mind, we don't actually have 3 islands yet. Creeping Tar Pit does not work the way we want it to. That's really awkward, I guess. Yeah, that's really awkward. But I guess we can just... So they have Archmage's Charm. They definitely have Archmage's Charm. That one can just eat a Mana Leak. And then we can put Mana Leak back on top when we sacrifice for another Hollowed Fountain here. If they're just running these out, that tells me that they likely just have more. And I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, I think we can just put Mana Leak back on top at this point. It's not, you know, the greatest by any means, but I think that it's reasonable enough to where being able to hold up Archmage's Charm in addition to Mana Leak is pretty good. This Bobble now does nothing, which is awesome. Could play an Emery out now through a Mana Leak. I guess that's probably what's happening here. No, it's not what's happening. Curious. Okay. We'll just pass. I don't want to get kind of caught with our hand in the cookie jar with this Creeping Tar Pit, so to speak. Tapping down super low and only having 1 spell could potentially be pretty rough for us. So this is Cryptic. So yeah, we will go for the Mana Leak on this. I guess that's what they were looking at potentially doing during our main phase last turn, which is wild. Okay, that's fine. So they have Cryptic on top. Does this... Okay. I want to let this resolve now, because what this could mean, so with this trigger on the stack, 1, 2, 3, 4, we can pat this with the trigger on the stack. They can only generate 4 mana. If they have another Cryptic, we can now Archmage's Charm the other Cryptic. Or anything, really. And this does not let them just get an activation for free, which is big. It also shuffles away their Cryptic, which is a big deal. And we can now, funny, we can attempt to take this. And then even if we get Veiled here, we can just put this back on top with the Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, so we're getting Veiled here. Okay, so that's fine. So we tried, it didn't work. We're just going to put this back on top. I don't want to screw this up. So now we have this, just 1/1. So we are in a pretty good spot here. They could, if they have like another Urza in hand, we could be in some trouble here. And they do, it looks like. Oh, they'll just take it back. Yeah, that's fine. We're just gonna sit here fighting over this one thing. I mean, it's gonna be tricky for the game to come down to just that. So they can like Galvanic Blast this or something. I mean, it is what it is. We just have to hope that they can't like Galvanic Blast this and untap an Uro. So we are in the market for something. I mean, they could potentially actually kill us. Well, maybe I got greedy with that Archmage Charm, but it's just really, really tricky. We got kinda perfected out by them in that situation, which is obviously not good. So what are we looking for here? Like Kaya's Guile? And they have Cryptic because they didn't even... Yikes. So, I mean, looks like we're probably just done for here, actually, which is definitely a bummer. Yeah. Esper Charm, I mean... I guess we just have to do this now. But they have Cryptic here. They don't have Cryptic. Whoa. Okay. So... do we upkeep, go to bounce that? I think so, actually. If we get Veiled here, we, at the very least, which I guess was probably their card then, if they didn't counter that. If we get Veiled here, at the very least, we get to... oh, it's the count unless you pay 3. Yikes. Okay. So we can't do that. So now we're looking to opt into something this next turn, because chances are they're just going to Uro here. Oh, they have another Urza? Oh, okay. Just mistapped. Nope, they do have another Urza. Whoa, yikes, 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 yikes. So, man. What are you looking for here? Archmage's Charm? No, because they could tap it for blue in response. Man, we need like removal spell, opt into removal spell. Yeah, I think that's probably it for us then. Nope, that's got to be cryptic at this point now. Kaya's Guile, make them sack, gain 4, make a 1/1. If they have nothing, we could live through that. If they have actual nothing. Well, I guess we go to their... Do we just do this right now? I guess. Alright. Have nothing, opponent. Have nothing, opponent. It appears as if they have something. But what this could do is it gets rid of their Uro. Well, now we're dead to a removal spell. But most of those same removal spells... Okay, so Veil just to draw. So they're just looking for like Galvanic Blast, I guess, at this point. So now we're, I mean, I guess we're kind of just looking for like the same thing, right? Come on, give us a shot. Jace. We have to brainstorm. Kaya's Guile's the only thing. Ah, shoot. One turn too late because we could have... Ah, man, if we had... Yikes, that's so brutal. If we had had this creeping tar pit. So I guess we just go ahead. Hope they attack one at chase, I guess. They're thinking about it. Nah, they just went both at us. Wow. Lost with a minute on the clock. That's a rough one. That's a really rough one. Yup. Alright, so that, and then brainstorm. 2, 3. So the Kaya would have been able to answer it as well, too. Yikes. Man, I mean, that's a really, really frustrating loss right there. There wasn't really a whole lot we could have done in that last situation. Kind of just drew. Little unfortunate with those lands, I guess. Yikes. Well, this went from a very promising start to the league to two really close losses in a row, and now we're fighting for that 3-2, which is obviously not where we wanted to be when we came into this, especially with the awesome work that we had coming in from the first couple of games. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you just get hit with the not super exciting parts of things, and you just kind of get ran over and get to move on. We have one more left. Just one more left. That's all we've got. Hoping we can run into Lurrus again. Like I said, I feel like this does just absolutely beat up on Lurrus. So that's kind of my hope. Here we are. Let's hop right in. Let us see if we are fortunate enough to play against Lurrus once again. These Kayas have felt close to like I want 4 of, honestly, at this point. I mean, Kaya would have been great for us that last game as well, too. Would have came down in an Ada thing. Kahira? It's just like cats? I didn't actually look at it, but I saw that Saffron Olive has a cats and taxes list. I'm trying to think what else this could be. I think this is going to be a keep and just bottom this Esper Charm. Double opt should hopefully get us to a white source at some point, and then we have 2 removal spells, assuming this is a creature deck. Yeah, it does look like a creature deck. Okay, so some sort of like green-white taxes variant for the most part, I think, is what we need to be wary of. Okay, well, we found it. Cool. So, if we do draw fetches, we will want to get them out of the way before Leonin Arbiter comes down. Because I believe that's gotta be a card that's in their deck. I'd be surprised. I mean, it is a cat, I think. Maybe it's like Leonin or something instead. I think it's a cat. I don't know. We shall see, obviously. They have played nothing. I have to imagine this is probably like a Collected Company deck. I don't think we're in for that. Well, that's an alright pickup, most likely. Stop on or draw step. Must be from earlier, maybe like a path or something like that they had cast. Can't imagine there was any reason for them to be doing that here, so probably just a stop from earlier in the game. Or earlier in their league, I should say. See what they have here. What do you have? Yeah, so it is cats. Sick. A little sad that this is not a 1-drop, because it would be fantastic if Kaya could just come down and clean up the board at this point. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. We do have some answers. We'll opt again. I think we do want another land at this point. I think it'd be pretty greedy to bottom a land when we're looking to get all the way up to Teferi at this point. I mean, I think we can just take this hit for 3. I don't think there's any reason to do anything. We're not really under any actual pressure. Doesn't make a huge difference to us if they smack in here and get us, but I think I'm actually going to get a white source. We do have a lot of white going on here. Oh, it's just straight up cat tribal. Okay. I guess at this point I do kind of want to path this. Next turn we can have Snapcaster to try and trade with this and then path with something. And if they don't give us something to do with that, then we can try to opt. Or we could also Kaya's Guile. Yeah, we got a lot of options here. So grab this one. Nope. Go to our turn. Ooh. Man. I kind of want to get this Teferi down, but if we Teferi minus... Yeah, I'm gonna get this Teferi down. It's not like they have any haste. Presumably. It's not that they have any haste. And I do want to be able to draw a card off this. Sweet. So we did hit our 5th land. Which does mean that big Teferi can happen as well too. Now they are going to go, if they have a land drop, up to 6, which could potentially mean that they can Kahira and the cat that we just made them, that we just bounced. Yeah, so they can do all this. That's fine. And then Snapcaster can get in the way of what they've got going on, or Kaya's Guile can get in the way of what they've got going on, or there's a lot of good options that we have here. So, yeah, we'll play this. We'll go up with this. We'll just pass. So we do have Snapcaster, Path Kahira, block the King. King of the Pride. That gets a little awkward if they have another Lord effect. That could potentially be rough. Hopefully it's of the 2-mana variety. I don't even know if they have any 2-mana lords, but if it's something we can spell snare, then we're in a pretty alright spot. Okay, they're just going to combat, which is good. So the Snapcaster will be able to, because of Teferi, answer all of these things. Yep, so a Snapcaster, Path Kahira will block this King of the Pride. Then they'll be on close to an empty board. Yeah, okay. So they're just done. Alright. That is fine. We're looking at cards that are good. The Wraths and more removal in the form of Kaya's Guile. I do have to imagine that they likely have token producing things. So I'm not a fan of that. I kind of want to just go down like the Teferis. Yeah, I kind of want to just go down like the Teferis and maybe like an Esper Charm. Something like that, and bring these in. Should be pretty good against a creature deck. I mean, we are a removal heavy deck with Wraths and tons of different ways to fight against that, so hopefully should be pretty good. Alright. Let's see what our opponent keeps. I wonder if they're just I wonder if they're also playing like the Bronzehide Lions and all that kind of stuff. Probably, right? I'm pretty surprised if they weren't. I'll keep this. This is removal spell, opt, counter spell, or I mean, even if they have a 1-drop, it could actually take their card, which is pretty cool. This deck does have a lot of hate for 1 CMC permanence. I have to imagine the Death Shadow matchup has to be pretty decent unless you kind of get absolutely dumpstered, just because like Archmage's Charm can take it. If you're at a life total, Kaya just straight up exiles it. Oof. Well, we may have just found our our target to take. I'm gonna play this Flooded Strand out because it'll give us options. And I think at this point I am fine with shocking. If they don't give us something that we feel the absolute immediate need to path, I'm gonna grab a Watery. That's awkward. I want to grab a Watery Grave because I want to ensure that we have black mana. But the issue with that is if we play this Plains out as our next land, we could run into the issue of not being able to Archmage's Charm on the 3. I think we need to do this, though. I think we need to make sure that we can have black mana. I think not guaranteeing black mana is a bit of a risk. I guess in this sense we could have could have island this first turn, assuming that that's what we would be digging for in the first place, and that could have made sense. Okay, that's not what we were looking for, obviously. Now I am going to play this out. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a tricky one. Aether Vial is a big deal. It matters a lot. Generates a ton of mana. A ton of mana. So it generated 1 for them last turn. We were fortunate they didn't use it, but it did. And then it'll generate 2 for them this turn, and then likely 3 for them for basically the rest of the game. That's, that's not great for us. What are they casting here? What are you casting here? Here. Okay, well that one will need to get pathed anyway, so we might as well go for it. Then this next turn we can hold up Snapcaster Path or Snapcaster Opt, depending on what they do. if they put in any of those monstrous cats, wow, got all that, huh? If we put in any of those monstrous cats, we'll probably have to just snap path it immediately. Like the bronze hide or the, no, okay, so they don't have that. So they don't have any 1-drops or any 2-drops right now. That's crazy. Is your deck just all 3-drops? I'd have to assume they're just on like a billion collected companies then, and that's kind of their game plan, is just collected company cats. Seems like a bit more casual than I would have assumed, but you never know. You draw on a card. Cool. Draw a card. I actually wouldn't mind if they didn't play anything this turn, because I would like to Snapcaster Opt. And honestly, the fact that we have 3 Snapcasters means that maybe that's just the right play to make anyway at this point. Yeah, I think so. So what a Snapcaster Opt. We're looking for like Hollowed Fountain, or I guess Flooded Strand is technically better because we wouldn't have to shock it in, but something that can find us a Hollowed Fountain is probably our best look here. It's really what we'd like. Well, what do you know? We found it. The exact card I wanted. Their pause on the draw step is interesting. I'm not going to attack. There's a pretty high chance that this just gets ambushed by something. And even if it doesn't, there's a pretty good chance that they are going to put something into play end of turn that this could trade with. So even if it doesn't ambush anything, or even if it doesn't get ambushed and just eaten with something, I'd like the option of being able to block. Pride Sovereign. Gets +1/+1. You can exert it to make more cats, huh? That is kind of a problem, isn't it? Do we need to just snap path that now? I kind of feel like we do, actually. That's their way to go wide on us, right? Can't really let them do that. And putting down the shields on the counter magic isn't the worst thing, considering they have this Aether Vial up anyway. And I think they've demonstrated pretty well that they're just straight up not going to cast anything, period, into this. Is this at sorcery speed? It is not. So we do need to do this now. Give them an extra land, which is a bummer, but I guess maybe they cast a 2-drop. It's not unreasonable if they have 2-drops in their deck, because, you know, they don't have a vial on 2 anymore. It's gone up to 3. So I guess if they draw a 2-drop, it would make sense for them to just cast it as opposed to anything else basically at this point. Green, white, cats. Yeah, I was not expecting this matchup when I queued in, that's for sure. But then again, I also played against 4-color elemental, what's the name of the, Winota the other day in a league. So, I mean, you never know, right? It's the wild, wild west out here, basically. There's no way this goes up, right? If this goes up, I'm gonna be a little scared. Because then I feel completely clueless. Okay, gotcha. I was gonna say I'm gonna have to do a gatherer search of 4-minute cats at that point. Oh, see, now about that. About that Thorn of Amethyst you got there. Wow, and that's all it is? I don't think our opponent likes playing against control decks. I don't necessarily blame them. All right, well, we got the 3-2. Both the losses were incredibly close. I mean, like, super, super close. That, that last game, we had them dead if we just untap. I mean, like, they have a minute to kill us. We end up ripping into Kaya. Kaya gets to kill their thing. They have nothing going on. Like, if we just live through the one turn, if we're able to find anything with the Jace that's relevant, you know, we win, which is pretty wild. So super close on the 2 losses that we had. You know, I feel like this deck is not necessarily a joke, actually. It came about as just a concept of let's try and beat Lurrus. I wonder if Kaya is good enough to do that. And I think that this is showing it's got some legs. I know I said last time A couple minor adjustments might make a big difference, and I still agree with a lot of what I said last time. That Archmage's Charm might just be a little too clunky, and a couple other things like that. Maybe there are some other better things to shove into this shell as well too, but I mean, I really like where it's at for the most part. Kaya's Guile and Kaya have both just been everything I've wanted them to be at this point. So deck's been really fun. Hopefully we can improve to a 4-1 in the next time, and I will see you then.